G'day, Eric Bakker, naturopath from New Zealand. Thanks for checking out my video. We're going to talk about today the 5 good drinks for constipation. It's surprising how many people I see on Skype in my practice that actually are constipated. It's really amazing. So let's talk about different kinds of beverage approaches you could use for improving how your bowel functions. So there's different approaches here. Some people take like laxative kind of approaches where they're going to really swallow pills or drink things to really just evacuate the bowel. That's not really what we're talking about here. We're not talking about a magnesium hydroxide or magnesium citrate kind of a drink because that will work if you take enough magnesium or vitamin C. You're going to really help that bowel work properly. A really nice drink to have, in my opinion, is lemon water, especially if you add a little bit of powdered fennel or powdered cumin into it. So just water, glass of water, the juice of half to a whole lemon, put a bit of cumin powder or a bit of, there's different powders you can put. Fennel's quite tasty. Mix that in there because fennel and cumin really help to improve gut function. They dispel gas, they reduce bloating, and they also improve the motion of passage of stool through the bowel. Chewing on fennel seeds is quite good for doing that too. So lemon water, a bit of cumin powder or fennel powder, stir it up and then have that as a drink first thing in the morning. Very good thing to do. So that's the first one I would say would be a lemon water drink. The second thing I really like are vegetable juices. I love having a vegetable juice at least once per day. And my favourite combination would be the green Granny Smith apple, a celery stick and a piece of carrot. That's going to really help the digestive system considerably if you do that. Especially if you don't just use a juicer that squeezes, and gets the juice out of the vegetables and you throw the pulp away, because you want the fiber. The fiber is the important part of really helping to improve the bowel tone. So try that approach. A small green apple, a small carrot and a celery stick. Nice combination. Even better when you've got a bit more experience is you add a little bit of spinach to it. Okay, so that's number 2. Drink would be the vegetable drink once per day. When you start with vegetable drinks, I recommend that you dilute them about 50 water, good quality water, 50 juice, because they can be a bit strong when you start them. In my Candida Crusher book, I wrote about the 3 different stages of juicing. You've got the intermediate, vegetables and fruits you can juice. You've got the beginners, you've got the intermediate, and then you've got the advanced, which are the real bitter things. So bitter things like grapefruit, things like that, artichokes. There's a lot of bitter vegetables that you could, bok choy, broccoli, you can even juice. But they're quite bitter, and unless you're experienced, they can make you a little bit sick or gassy or bloaty. So you may want to start with the green apple and celery and carrot. That's quite a smart approach. Intermediate one would be more beetroot, for example. That's quite a good intermediate thing to add into a drink. Stools may turn a bit red, but beetroot also really helps with bowel function. So the vegetable juices is number 2. Vegetable juice number 3, which is super powerful. If you want to get rid of spinach, 1 cup of spinach contains 4 grams of fibre. I've written down here. That's a lot of fibre. So spinach just juiced on its own and take a shot of straight spinach juice. Some people do that. Or you can throw a couple of handfuls of green spinach leaves in like a Vitamix, or a NutriBullet or something like that, and blend right up into a drink. And then you can either dilute that with water or have that neat. Having it neat's very strong. A bit like wheatgrass. It's a powerful drink full of chlorophyll, full of folic acid, a lot of magnesium, potassium in there. So it's going to really make you feel good, but it could create a bit of a detox reaction if you're not used to it. So drink number 3 would be the more powerful approach, would be basically a spinach shot or a spinach drink. Prune juice is a good one that I recommend. That's number 4. So what you do with prunes, just buy a packet of prunes, put 3 or 4 of them in a cup, just a big cup. This cup's, for example, probably too small. My cup of my green tea here, that's probably too small for you. You might want a little bit bigger one. I would put 3 or 4 prunes in there, pour boiling water on top, and then you're going to leave that probably for about a good 5-10 minutes. Give it a stir. You could take the prunes out, pop the pips out of the prunes and put them back in, or you could blend, take the pips out and then blend the whole thing and it'll go a nice dark colour. So prune juice is excellent. It's very high in different fibres, but also it's got sorbitol in it, a sugar that really helps to make the large intestine move quite well. So that's almost like a semi sort of laxative kind of a bowel moving drink. It's a prune drink. So that's drink number 4 is prune. The other one I really like is apple or pear. So that's number 5. So you can either juice pears or juice apples or do a combo. And also you could put a little bit of cumin or fennel, even a little bit of ginger in with this. It's quite tasty. You could put a tiny little bit of Manuka New Zealand honey in that if you want. That gives it even more taste and flavour. And apple and pear are excellent for constipation. Those kinds of drinks, they work quite well. And of course there are other approaches like psyllium. You can mix that through water, the psyllium husks. You could put ground flaxseed. You can mix that in a drink and things like that. But my favourite out of all of these would be the lemon water, because I have that every morning. I think it's a fantastic drink. It cleans the liver up. It helps to keep parasite and bacterial numbers down. It alkalizes the body, yet it stimulates the stomach. It improves the GI function, upper GI function. It's a very good cleansing drink. If you can't get constipation working, through these kind of drinks, you may need a gallbladder or liver kind of a cleanse or flush. So look at some of my videos on liver gallbladder cleansing, and that will explain a bit further. That could be why. Stress is a big reason why people are constipated. So please be mindful to chew food properly and understand that stress slows the bowel right down. That could be your problem. Thanks for tuning in. Click on the link below if you haven't got my free Candida report. Thank you.